From the gun, here's Smith. Looking deep downfield. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
All right, here we go. 3 down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Play clock winding down. On play action, they'll throw. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Here's Brad Wing now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Now Gino on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's second down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
A very solid gain of 27. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st and 10, Smith is going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Ryan Switzer, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Geno down to throw. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15. 22 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Dallas 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. His throw caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Yeldon, the lone running back. He'll get the football here. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off inside the 10.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Brad Wing now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this one's going to be touchdown right at about the 35-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And his throw is incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The Cowboys on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. Time for a break. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the